Hi guys, Cameron here, and today we have another episode for the Fall of the Necromancer campaign. This is a campaign that I'm playing with a friend at my local Warhammer store. We are there pretty much every Friday playing the next scenario, and there's the previous 3 scenarios that we have played on a playlist on my channel. So please, if you're interested in watching this kind of full campaign, because we are using the campaign rules, please go check that out as well on this channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. But anyway, scenario 4, Lurking in the Shadows. So this is a scenario played on a 2x2, or it's meant to be, and that is kind of the way this scenario is meant to be played, or looked like. The layout of the board is meant to represent a densely wooded area of Mirkwood where the Spider Queen's nest or lair is found. Such there should be plenty of trees, shrubs, undergrowths dotted around the map, and there should be 4 spider nests no more than 6 inches in diameter. These should be placed on the board, 1 in each centre of each 2x2. This is where mine and the scenario's boards differ. We are playing on, I think it's a kill team mat. It might be a Warcry mat. So there are some concessions made with our outcome compared to what would potentially happen on an actual 2x2. But anyway, the starting positions. The good players deploy their forces within 6 inches of the centre of the boards. The evil player deploys the Spider Queen, 4 Mirkwood spiders, 4 giant spiders, and the bat swarms within 12 inches of the lair, which is on the eastern board edge. And then the rest of the remaining spiders, because there is a couple more, they're placed 1 on each of the nests surrounding the area. So the objectives. This band of elves has strayed into the Spider Queen's lair and must kill her if they have any chance of escaping. The game lasts until one force has completed their objectives. The good force wins if they are able to kill the Spider Queen, and the evil force wins if they are able to kill all the elves before the Spider Queen is killed. There is a couple of special rules for this scenario, and one of them is spider nests. So, good models treat spider nests as difficult terrain. Additionally, whenever a spider model is slain, with the exception of the Spider Queen, keep the spider to one side. Keep the spider to one side. At the start of each turn, before priority is determined, roll a d6 for each spider model kept aside in this manner. On a 5+, that model will re-enter the board via one of the spider nests. To determine where they may enter from, roll a further d6. On a 1, 2, 3, the good player chooses which spider nest the model enters from. On a 4+, the evil player model decides on which spider nest they arrive on. And when they are placed, they arrive touching the spider's nest and may act as normal that turn. Okay, now this was one of the ones where we had a little bit of a question on the rules. And also it comes into the campaign play that we had from last scenario. So we were questioning whether it's all spider models that have been slain throughout the whole game, or if it's just spider models that were slain the previous turn. The way that we think it's worded, it is all spider models previously slain, not just the ones from last turn. So we had it that all spiders were able to come back on. We were always rolling that d6. Now, it says on a 1, 2, and 3, the good player decides on where they are going, and on a 4+, the evil player is deciding. However, going by the scenario play on the corruption of the Greenwood, when the evil player wins, they actually decide it on a 3+ rather than the 4+. But if the good player had won, then they decide it the evil player decides on a 5+. So it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4. The good player decides. So essentially, where that middle point is, it just shifts depending on who won the last scenario. So with my opponent winning both sides of the scenario last time, it meant that he managed to pick up always on pretty much where he wanted them to go if I was rolling for, or if he was. There's also another special rule. It's called Swarm of Spiders. Shooting attacks that target the Spider Queen suffer a -1 penalty when rolling to hit, Additionally, shooting attacks will only wound the Spider Queen on a natural 6. Now, this never came into play with our board, but that's probably because it was slightly too small. The elves didn't actually get much shooting attacks in, so this is where we probably hamstrung ourselves. I reckon there'd be a turn, maybe 2 turns of shooting normally, but that didn't happen with our board. So maybe we have skewed these scenarios slightly. But the participants, this is always something that we need to know. There is 2 Mirkwood Ranger captains, which were provided by me, 20 Mirkwood Rangers, which were provided by my opponent. Evo player has got the Spider Queen, 6 Giant Spiders, and 6 Mirkwood Spiders, which were provided by my opponent, and then 2 Bat Swarms, which were provided by me. So that is the scenario rundown. What we'll do now is we will go into a little bit of gameplay, and you'll see exactly kind of what's happening. I'll talk over it and let you know how our scenario goes. So, do enjoy. So as you can see, here is my opponent setting up their forces in the centre. I set up my evil guys just there, and we had it that we had to set up kind of against the wall just to give us a little bit more space for those elves. But then within turn 1, as you can see, the spiders were kind of swarming the elves already, and this is probably where that smaller board edge or board size was kind of a disadvantage for the elves, because they do end up getting slaughtered in both games, and that I think wasn't really meant. A couple of spiders were getting wounded, and that kind of just shows how good the elves can be in combat, especially when they are outnumbered, which was something that I was trying to do just so I could try and pick off more and more and more of them as they went along. But the game kind of was almost like this. It may well have been better if we had played alternatively, in the sense of shifted our board 90 degrees so there was a little bit more room from the Spider Queen lair. That might be a concession that we make if we replay this scenario at some point. But as you can see, my spiders were just going in, absolutely swarming what these elves had. Bat swarms finally got in, models were getting removed. As you can see, this is probably about turn 3, and there is not many elves left, unfortunately. Spiders were getting taken out, and that was a good thing, but I've kind of surrounded them by now, and they do manage to last a couple of turns more, but it's not particularly much. And one of the rules that we did remember was that spiders cause terror. That was something that we completely forgot in the previous game with these guys, so it was real good that they managed to, or we managed to remember them. My Spider Queen here never got a wound on her, if I remember correctly, although she did end up getting charged finally, kind of in the last turn, but she managed to eat some of these elves. It's one of the things that I don't think that this board was the right size for the scenario, and that's completely our fault. We did do them that way, and as you can see, here we go, the spiders have finally killed all the elves. This is now me playing the elves, so I've set them up slightly differently, 6 inches from the centre of the board, my 2 captains in the middle, and here's my opponent now deciding kind of how he's going to set them up. He's set them up in much the same way, but as you can see, there is a couple of inches between them right now, and I managed to hit that spider there with a dice, so I do apologise. Luckily enough, it didn't break. But spiders go off. I kind of tried to almost form a line. I do manage to charge a bunch. You can see a couple there failed the charges, or failed the terror test, sorry. But as these spiders can just kind of mow through these elves, it does kind of lead towards the evil side winning. And as I said, the evil side won twice in this scenario, so both of us lost with the good side. Which, to be fair, is thematic. It was what they were kind of wanting. It does mean that the Spider Queen can then cause Mirkwood to become hers, but it was one of these things that kind of just wasn't working. And as you can see, the Spider Queen was charging in there, so I could have had a possibility of wounding her, but I don't think I did. I certainly didn't slay her, which was probably the biggest problem, but it is what it is. They were managing to do things. Actually, that's something paralysing was just what I'm rolling for there. A couple of my elves did manage to get back out of their paralysis, because I completely forgot that they could shoot webs when I was playing them. But it is what it is. This scenario was great fun. I'm real happy with the way that kind of it plays. I just think that we maybe weren't playing it to the best of our abilities or the way that the writers were kind of meaning for them to play, but it just is what it is. We thoroughly enjoyed, and I am more than happy with the way that this game came out in the scenario. It was really, really good. But as you can see, my elves are really struggling now. That was my dead pile there, and one of the guys just ran from his courage test because I was broken and I had no standfasts. They were just getting slaughtered. This poor chap, I think he did manage to survive an extra turn actually, which I was very surprised at. I was rolling 4 dice because I was outnumbered, and I managed to roll the higher, and I think I slayed 2 of those spiders, which I was more than happy with. But I was very much surprised by what was going on here. And it was just kind of last turn, Spider Queen wasn't going to be able to get hurt. First spider is dead. Oh, the bat swarm was it? There we go. And then we kept on rolling. So it was just all these little extra bits. But then final turn, got surrounded. We rolled again and it just didn't go well. We knew that he was going to, or she was going to die. It was just how long could she survive? And as you can see, my opponent picking up all these dice, I've managed to be trapped, so we're just adding all these extra dice in. You can imagine looking at this just being kind of, oh great, we've just got something like 15 dice being rolled against me, and my fight value's half because of that bat swarm, and oh look, yes, just definitely dead. So off it pops, and kind of that was game just there. Real good fun, I must say. So yes, that was Lurking in the Shadows, the 4th scenario for Fall of the Necromancer campaign. Great campaign, great scenario so far. We've been really enjoying it, and next week we are moving on to Flight to the East. And this is Gandalf going around Dol Guldur trying to find the Necromancer to make sure that he is there, or if Gandalf is just kind of thinking and being all weirded out and everything. For the campaign rules though, the Lurking in the Shadows, for the Flight in the East, if the good player won, which they never did, the good player may choose to automatically gain priority at the start of any turn. This can only be used once per game though. That's not going to happen because, like I say, the good side never won in our Lurking of the Shadows. So what is the evil special rule? This will be coming into effect in both of our scenarios. In the Flight of the East, I'm going to keep on calling it Fight of the East, I bet. In the Flight of the East scenario, the evil player may choose to automatically gain priority at the start of any turn. This can only be used once per game. So turns out that the rules are exactly the same for both of them. It just kind of depends on who has won and that sort of thing. So that is Fall of the Necromancer campaign. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Like I said, we kind of hamstrung ourselves with the fact that we were playing it with just a smaller board. I reckon that if we had managed to have that bigger board, which is totally possible, we are the ones hamstringing us. It's nothing to do with the Warhammer store. It is completely us that is doing it. But if we managed to do that, then maybe there would have been a slight better chance of the elves winning. But hey ho, I'm more than happy with the evil guys losing. The evil guys winning and the good guys losing. I'm not a fan of the Mirkwood elves in the sense of I much prefer my spiders, my gribblies, and all that sort of stuff for these scenarios. And I do have the 9 already painted up. We will see how they look when they finally get on the board. One thing I do have for the next scenario, because I've said that any models that I provide for the scenario will be painted, is I have this Gandalf from the Fall of the Necromancer campaign. Yeah, you won't be able to see that. He's just black just now. But he is going to be he is going to be painted and then put on this lovely Generation Shift base that I have already painted up for him. So yeah, it'll be good. He's going to be painted up in the next week because today is Saturday and I play on Fridays. So I've got 6 days to get him done. And no doubt you will see him on my hobby vlog roundups as well as next episode. But yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please check out all other videos on my channel. I would really appreciate it, especially the Fall of the Necromancer campaign playlist. all the videos and everything are put up on there. I'd greatly appreciate if everyone could go look, like, subscribe, comment down below, all those sort of things that everyone on YouTube asks you to do. As much as it is sometimes annoying as a viewer, it really does help us out. I genuinely appreciate it. I'm so close to 300 subscribers. I think I'm currently 2 off, so the next 2 would be absolute adorable. I would greatly, yeah. It blows my mind that 300 people subscribed, or close to 300 people subscribed to me. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Affiliate links down below for Element Games, Goblin Gaming, and Noble Knight Gaming in the US. I would love it if you guys would use that for any hobby supplies. It gives me a kickback to the channel. All this money goes back into the channel. It's how I can afford things like this and this. And hopefully one day better recording equipment rather than my iPhone. But yes, I'll stop rambling. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and bye-bye. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and use my affiliate links in the description below. Take care and bye-bye.